just chilling in the lounge in Bali. I have lounge access because I booked a first class ticket. I was able to do that with my flight miles because ever since I lived in Jackson, Wyoming, I started flying with United Airlines and Star Alliance partners as much as humanly possible. So, over 15 years, God, has it been that long? Yeah, like 15 years. I've been racking up miles and I use them sometimes, but this time I got really lucky. There was a first class ticket or business class ticket for 100,000 miles from Bali to San Francisco. So I took advantage. I booked it. The drawbacks are I have almost a 12-hour layover in Singapore, and I have another 5-hour layover in Manila. So, although I will be flying in a lay down seat between Manila and San Francisco, I'm going to be spending 18, what is that? Yeah, around 16 hours in airports. And that's not including this airport. So, actually, like 18 hours in airports on this transit. So, it's a beautiful thing be to stick with one airline. Uh, the only reason the only reason I decided to choose United was because in Jackson it was a choice between United and Delta. Yeah, I feel like United and Delta because I was flying to Thailand a lot. So to get to Thailand from Jackson, those were the two major airlines. And I chose United, I think, because of the route. Like, they generally, for a while, were doing Jackson to Denver, Denver to Tokyo, Tokyo to Thailand. And the layovers were easy, they weren't very long. And so that's why I chose United over Delta. And there was probably other reasons. I think some of my friends were flying United instead of Delta. And I just stuck with United. Anytime I booked a flight within the United States or international, I always looked at United flights first and consistently booked with them for years and years and years. So I also got a credit card with United to gain points and miles. And so that's how I'm doing this awesome first class, business class ticket. When things started to get, after COVID, when I was starting to work in yachting, it got more and more difficult to use United because typically in like Bahamas, Caribbean, Florida area, you could get pretty inexpensive flights into the Caribbean from Florida on American Airlines. And shoot, I was gonna say Southwest, but I was doing some domestic flights, and it was much more inexpensive to do Southwest than United. And then yeah, American Airlines was the biggest one for Caribbean. So I flew not a ton, but it was way easier, like less layovers, less time in airports. Sometimes American Airlines had direct flights, so I would fly American when I was doing those Florida Caribbean flights, which makes me really sad because now my United miles are definitely way lower than they used to be. At one point, I had status with I guess I still have think I have silver status with United. For a while there, I had platinum status. And that's another good thing about sticking with one airline is the more you fly, the more miles you earn, you also can earn status. What does that mean? Well, it just means that you can, like, with gold status on United, I could have access to lounges when I flew international. I can usually check 2 bags up to 70 pounds, which is huge. I mean, half the time it's only 50 pounds per bag, and you can be charged up to $150. I think sometimes it's even more now. So having the extra baggage allowance. With status, I would also get preferred seating, so I could get the bigger, more legroom seats towards the front of the plane. So not business class or first class, but just premium economy. What else? Oh yeah, I also was in like boarding group 1 instead of boarding group a million. And yeah, status with an airline has its perks. And then I know the higher the status you go, the better the perks are. Sometimes when I was gold status, I'd get, or platinum status, either or, I would get upgraded on flights that weren't full, or just, yeah, I'd be put on the upgraded waiting list and sometimes get it, sometimes not. So that was a huge bonus. On the international flights, though, to get upgraded to business class, I think you had to have, oh, it wasn't platinum, it was like the one above platinum, one of the status, the highest status. That was the only one you could potentially be upgraded on, like an international flight. I know United. I don't know Delta or American Airlines or any of the other airlines status and rules and how it works, but it's all kind of the same. It's like the more money you spend and the more miles you fly, the higher the status you can get. And then again, the bigger the perks get, the more status you have, the more miles you have, etc., etc. Um, so yeah, if you ever wonder how people can sometimes fly business class internationally, having some lots of miles saved up and some status with the airline really super helps. So that's my story today. Headed from Bali to San Francisco. I'm going to keep recording daily videos. However, I don't know how well the internet's going to be, so we'll see if they upload. Thanks for being here.